We are clearly an Indo-Pacific player. We believe in a rule-order basis, and we believe in open trade.
The bilateral initiatives that we have between Singapore and France can be a pathfinder for Europe and ASEAN to do more together as well.
En visitant l'Asie du Sud-Est tout au long de cette semaine, nous avons commencé à concrétiser l'immense potentiel de coopération entre votre région, de près de 700 millions d'habitants, et une Europe de 450 millions d'habitants. Et la France sera toujours un soutien des efforts de l'Union européenne visant à renforcer les liens avec les pays de l'ASEAN, en particulier dans le secteur économique, via de nouveaux accords commerciaux. De même que nous sommes désireux, avec vous, de renforcer aussi les liens avec le partenariat transpacifique et de réouvrir un dialogue justement pour un accord global avec les partenaires de ce format transpacifique en matière de commerce, d'échange et d'innovation. We are part of this region. We have 1 million inhabitants living in this region. We have more than 8,000 soldiers, a lot of common exercises with a lot of countries of the region, and a specific presence and specific partnerships with a lot of countries of the region. We are clearly an Indo-Pacific player. And what we can offer is precisely the fact that being part of an alliance, but having this independence, we do believe in the same values. We believe in a rule-order basis, and we believe in open trade. I think we have quite a unique position. And we are very lucid. We are not part of this superpower. We are neither China nor the US. We don't want to depend on none of them. We want to cooperate with both as far as we can, and we can cooperate for growth and prosperity and stability for our people in the world order. And I think this is exactly the same view as a lot of countries and a lot of people of this region.
Singapore and ASEAN's view is that we want to have an open and inclusive region in Asia. We want a region that is not dominated by any single power, that does not have exclusive arrangements with any single power. While a lot of focus has been about US and China, in fact, there are other major powers to engage. France, as the president says, is a Pacific power. France has significant capabilities across a wide range of different areas, and we have long-standing relations with France bilaterally, but we also welcome France to do more, not just with Singapore, but also with the rest of Southeast Asia. Bilateral initiatives that we have between Singapore and France can be a pathfinder for Europe and ASEAN to do more together as well. And by having these additional links for all the major powers to have stakes in Southeast Asia and Asia, to work together, to find win-win arrangements, we believe such a configuration makes for a stabler configuration in Asia. It will reduce the chances of conflict, and it will maximize the likelihood for continued peace and shared prosperity amongst all the parties.
I do believe that the main risk today is a risk of division of the world, and a division between the two superpowers. And the instruction given to all the others, you have to choose your side. If we do so, we will kill the global order, and we will destroy, methodically, all the institutions we created after the Second World War in order to preserve peace and to have cooperation on health, on climate, on human rights, and so on. But we need them, probably much more than before. France is a friend and an ally of the United States, and is a friend, and we do cooperate, even if sometimes we disagree and compete with China. I do intend to remain so, loyally, with a demanding approach of our own interests. But France is no less attached to what is essential for herself: strategic autonomy, freedom of sovereignty. And we do defend this approach for Europe and for Indo-Pacific, which means we want to cooperate. Our challenges are not only similar, they are getting increasingly intertwined. They are intertwined because when you look at the situation, in the past few years, I had objected to NATO having any role in Asia, because for me, N is for North Atlantic. And because I don't believe in being enrolled in someone else's strategic rivalry. But what's happening with North Korea being present alongside with Russia on the European soil is a big question for all of us. And this is why, if China doesn't want NATO being involved in Southeast Asia or in Asia, they should prevent, clearly, DPRK to be engaged on the European soil. Another race we cannot afford to lose is that of hybrid warfare. With cyber and disinformation, there is a clear attempt to undermine our democracies, our social cohesion, sometimes even our territorial integrity, and all this is done with underlying geopolitical aims. And clearly, this is the same here and in Europe. More generally, as we gear ourselves for future confrontations, we have to make sure that we arm ourselves with the tools of tomorrow's, not yesterday's war. The time for non-alignment has undoubtedly passed, but the time for coalitions of action has come and requires that countries capable of acting together give themselves every means to do so. We must show consistency where others practice a double game. And this is exactly my call tonight at the Shangri-La Dialogue. Let's build new coalition for open trade, open dialogue to de-risk our models, stable environment, and new coalitions to stabilize open and rule-based order. The rules must remain the inviolability of borders, respect for sovereignty, refusal to use force as a means of domination, and we must cultivate a spirit of independence and a desire for cooperation. But let me be clear. I think our role is not to be a substitute to anybody, but our role is to work for ourselves to improve our strategic autonomy, meaning our own capacity to protect our soil, but through the cooperation we have to help the Asian countries to do the same for themselves, and to reduce on both sides our dependencies. And we have to do it in a time where there is an increase of the threats and the strategic risks. I would be very honest with you. If both the United States of America and the Europeans are unable to fix on the short run the Ukrainian situation, I think the credibility of both the US and the Europeans to pretend to fix any crisis in these regions will be very low.